For centuries, chemists categorized acids and bases purely by their sensory traits. Acids were sour, bases were bitter. The assumption was that these properties were hard-coded into the dry molecules themselves. This animated diagram illustrates why that assumption is false. On the left side, we have dry hydrogen chloride gas interacting directly with a strip of blue litmus paper. Nothing happens. The gas is chemically inert. The picture changes the instant that same gas dissolves in water. As shown on the right, the water physically forces the molecules apart. The hydrogen ion separates and bonds with a water molecule, forming a hydronium ion, while a chloride ion is left behind. Only in the presence of water does the hydronium trigger the litmus strip to turn aggressively red. Bases operate under the exact same mechanical constraint. A base will only express its chemical properties when dissolved in water, at which point it produces active hydroxide ions. That means our testing tools, whether laboratory litmus paper or olfactory indicators like vanilla and clove, are not detecting the parent molecule. They are simply chemical detection tools calibrated to react to the presence of specific hydronium or hydroxide ions. Without water acting as the structural medium to tear these molecules apart and mobilize their ions, acids and bases remain completely inert. We can control the kinetic intensity of these solutions through a process called dilution. By mixing an acid or base with additional water, we mechanically decrease the concentration of active ions per unit volume. Because this process is highly exothermic, it requires strict adherence to a specific protocol. You must always add the acid to the water and never pour water directly into an acid. When that rule is broken, a single drop of water striking the surface of a concentrated acid immediately undergoes a localized exothermic reaction. The sudden generation of heat flash boils the water, causing an explosive, violent splash of concentrated acid. Reversing the order prevents this. By slowly pouring acid into a larger volume of water, the high thermal mass of the water safely absorbs and dissipates the kinetic energy released by the dissolving ions. Chemical mastery depends on managing the density of these ions and the kinetic energy released during their mobilization. If acids produce hydronium ions and bases produce hydroxide ions, what happens when those two opposing forces meet in the same solution? A neutralization algorithm plays out through an animated equation. Hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide combine. Hydrogen and hydroxide ions instantly migrate away and snap together. The remaining spectator ions, sodium and chloride, are stranded. They bond into a rigid crystalline lattice, creating a salt. This reaction is the exact mechanism captured in this archival photograph of commercial antacids. Products like milk of magnesia are mild bases designed to encounter excess hydrochloric acid in the stomach and neutralize it into harmless salt and water. Neutralization, therefore, does not destroy matter. It physically reorganizes highly reactive ions into stable, neutral outputs. When we alter the inputs of this reaction architecture, the outputs shift predictably. If an acid reacts with a pure metal instead of a base, metal displaces the hydrogen. This forms a salt, leaving orphaned hydrogen atoms to pair up and release as hydrogen gas. In a laboratory setting, this specific byproduct is identified by bringing a burning candle near the emission. Hydrogen combustion produces a distinct popping sound. If we introduce carbon and oxygen by reacting acids with metal carbonates, the reaction matrix shifts. The inclusion of these elements yields a salt and water, but specifically forces the release of carbon dioxide gas. This vintage soda acid fire extinguisher harnesses that reaction, utilizing the rapid internal generation of heavy carbon dioxide to spray outward and smother a fire. The final structural rule involves introducing acids to metallic oxides. This reaction solely produces salt and water. Because it mirrors the exact outputs of our neutralization algorithm, it proves metallic oxides behave as basic oxides. This weathering on a stone statue is a macroscopic visual record of that slow degradation, caused by atmospheric acids neutralizing the basic oxides in the rock. By tracking the specific elemental inputs of the reactants, the chemical outputs, whether explosive hydrogen gas, fire-retardant vapor, or water, are completely and rigorously predictable. To quantify the exact concentration of active ions in any aqueous solution, chemists use the pH scale. A neutral pH of 7 maintains a level balance of red hydronium and blue hydroxide ions. Because it is logarithmic, dropping the pivot number tips the seesaw sharply. Low pH indicates an exponential dominance of hydronium ions, completely overwhelming the trace hydroxide. Biological systems operate within an incredibly narrow margin of the seesaw. The human body functions optimally only when maintaining a tight internal pH range of 7.0 to 7.8. When local bodily pH drops, the biological hardware begins to fail. Tooth decay initiates the moment the mouth's pH falls below 5.5. The enamel breaks down until a mild base, like toothpaste, neutralizes the environment. This vulnerability scales up to global ecosystems. When precipitation drops below a pH of 5.6, it becomes acid rain. As seen in this forest, the microscopic ion imbalance in the water strips nutrients from the soil, devastating aquatic life and flora on a massive scale. The pH scale acts as the definitive physical parameter for biological viability on Earth. As we've seen, salts are the structural remnants left over from acid-base neutralizations. Whether a specific salt is ultimately acidic, basic, or neutral depends entirely on the relative strength of the parent molecules that formed it. This neutral salt, sodium chloride, is harvested in immense quantities from seawater and terrestrial rock. It serves as the keystone raw material for chemical manufacturing. Industry utilizes the chlor-alkali process, driving a massive electrical current through an aqueous brine to tear stable sodium chloride apart. The molecules resort, pooling into dense sodium hydroxide below, while chlorine and hydrogen gases bubble away toward the surface. These newly isolated elements are piped through industrial facilities and immediately repurposed. By reacting the harvested chlorine gas with dry slaked lime, chemical plants synthesize essential compounds like bleaching powder for large-scale disinfection. Cleaving the ionic bonds of common table salt yields the specific elemental building blocks required for modern industry. Some salts perform mechanical work directly through thermal decomposition. Heating sodium hydrogen carbonate, or baking soda, forces it to release carbon dioxide gas, which physically expands to create the spongy lift and baked goods. But other salts rely on a deeper structural phenomenon known as water of crystallization. In these compounds, water molecules do not merely act as a solvent to dissolve the salt. Instead, a fixed number of water molecules become physically trapped within the solid crystalline lattice. This diagram shows gypsum's rigid structure, dependent on two intact water molecules locked firmly between calcium and sulfate ions. Applying heat forces the expulsion of 1.5 water molecules, leaving an altered lattice known as plaster of Paris. This modified powder possesses a highly specific reversible property. When water is reintroduced, the lattice rapidly reabsorbs it, reverting back to the stable gypsum state and locking into a rock-hard solid mass. This real-time crystallization provides direct medical utility. By applying wet plaster of Paris to a fractured bone, doctors build a customized rigid support structure that hardens precisely to the patient's anatomy. We have traced the complete mechanistic life cycle, from the dissociation of hydronium ions to their neutralization into crystalline salts, and the permanent integration of water. From the invisible subatomic bonds of an acid to the macroscopic engineering of our infrastructure, the presence, absence, and kinetic behavior of water dictate chemical reality.